all of the lymph nodes in my jaw area, which at the time I didn't know were lymph nodes, just started growing bigger. So I went to the doctor and they said that they would do some x-rays and some scans and a biopsy. Whenever I went back to get the results of the biopsy, that's when they said that it tested positive for lymphoma. When you're told something like that, you don't really know what to think. I was 21 and this isn't supposed to happen. Every single time I would go to my doctor's appointments, I would always scour the waiting room to see if there was anyone that was my age or close to my age. And so I wanted so badly to relate or connect to someone that was my age, that I could just talk to or share stories with, or just find comfort in someone that was my age. And that's when I found Cancer Care Services and their support group. You're able to connect with even more people who are going through the same thing or have been through, or who know someone going through cancer, and being able to all come together and share stories, and everyone thrives off of that. It's so special and unique. My son has attended the Fossil Rim camp in the summer that is for kids whose parents are going through cancer. He just had an amazing time and was able to talk with other kids whose parents are going through the same thing. It just gave me life again to be able to connect to someone that was going through the same thing as me. And I wouldn't have been able to find that if it wasn't for Cancer Care Services.
Cancer has come definitely with some major hardships. And, in a lot of ways, I feel like cancer has stole so much from me. Being self-employed for the last 33 years, if I don't work, I have no income. Every other week I travel to MD Anderson in Houston, Texas, about a 5-hour trip one way, and then I go through a very rigorous routine. Cancer Care Services has been absolutely a lifesaver for me. When this happens, you start thinking, being self-employed, what am I going to do? How am I going to eat? How am I going to pay my electricity bills? My biggest fear was losing my home that I'd worked so hard for, because the expenses are incredible. I was really sick, had lost a bunch of weight and couldn't work as much. And they stepped in and were able to pay my health insurance premium one month, which was huge for me because it's very pricey. I pay about $1,200 a month for health insurance. I had about 1,300 hours so far of chemo in the last year. And they have on numerous occasions been able to give me gas cards to help with the expense of gas getting to and from Houston. The way they've reached out to me, followed up with me, offered counseling, which has been incredible. When you're in a place of hopelessness and you think, wow, I'm not going to make it. And then to be able to get help and get counseling, I am so blessed to be in a position to where I have that hope again. I have the hope that, you know what, it's not going to take anything from me.
Cancer has affected me. It just invaded my whole life in two different ways that I never would have thought it would. My 3-year-old daughter, Sheree Nicole Jackson, was diagnosed with neuroblastoma in 1998, and she was tender age of 2.5. She was terminal. Two things that my daughter always said to me: "Mommy, keep smiling, then no one knows where you hurt." And another one was, "Mommy, please don't forget me when I become an angel." I felt for her because I couldn't predict. And I beat myself up. 11 years after Sheree received her wings, I was diagnosed with stage 2B colorectal cancer. That was the beginning of my cancer battle. I'm thinking in my mind, once I take chemo, it was gone. I wasn't aware that this could come back. And when it came back with a vengeance. This time it came back in my lungs. That's my current fight. This one has been hard for me. This one is hard. Wow. Cancer Care Services, one thing they do for me is listen. They have that listening ear. Representative that I was speaking to called just to check on me. Hey, Stefan, we're calling to check and see how you're doing, you know. I stopped at that moment and I started crying on the phone. I cried on the phone with her. She referred me for assistance and I got it. And that made a big difference because although it may seem small to some people, when you don't have the finances, you're not able to work and have to depend on someone else financially. And I don't want to keep asking. But I know that I have a friend in Cancer Care Services. You know the cracks on the ground when you walk, and it's like Cancer Care fills in those cracks for me and my family. They fill in those cracks. They just close them right in and make you feel comfortable. Their arms surround you and make you feel warm. And that's how I felt. And now I have chills because of the fact they made me feel so welcome.